Hey, what is up everybody? Welcome back to the channel. I'm your host today, Gaming Legion. You can call me Legion, you can call me Jacob, whichever you prefer. I got a new toy. I got a boom arm now for my mic. Wanted to get it off of my desk. This keeps it out of the way a little bit. So yeah. As you can see, we are not in a standard recording environment. I would normally have the camera higher up and I'd be standing back there. Since I got a boom arm, I decided let me get some new fucking XLR cables for the mic that I have, because it's XLR, not USB. Because I don't want to get a new mic right now for $150 for a decent mic, so I'm like, you know what, just stick with the one I have. So I said, fuck it. Let's get the new ones. They're a little bit longer too, so I can have some more reach. And I literally went to go record the video. I plug that XLR cable in, and I start getting static and shit. I start getting a bunch of stuff as if like the connections were loose, which I'm like, what the fuck? What are you doing? What's going on? I got them through Amazon, so I don't know if I'm going to be able to return them. I got them a week ago, so I don't even know. I don't even know. Yeah, I am going to hopefully try and get those fixed. I've also been tired. I'm tired as shit, mostly from work. I got off work a few hours ago, and I just got finished with getting all my laundry, and it's been midterm hell. Thank you, junior year. Midterm hell. The past 3 weeks have been midterm projects. I had a paper due. So much shit, and I still have two midterms this week. One is a project that I've been working on. One is an actual midterm that's on Friday, the last day of the semester, or the last day before spring break. So I'm not happy with that. I was also really taking my time to beat fucking God of War Ragnarok. I'm gonna mention it a lot in the video, but I finally fucking beat God of War Ragnarok. Like, I went through, beat the full game, platinumed it, I basically 100%'d it. I need to find some stuff in Vanaheim that I'll probably do years down the line. And I went through Valhalla over this last week, finally beat that shit. It took me 2 fucking days to get, I'm gonna go on a rant for a second. It took me 2 fucking days to get to finish that last mission. I cannot even tell you the first time, the work part 3, I fucking went through on my first attempt, got all the way up to tier, and it was perfect. I had fucking runic attacks on every single one of my weapons, both light and heavy. I had fucking great fucking power-ups. I had one where my spear, every time I threw it, I could get a new fucking element on it. It was beautiful. There was no way I was losing that shit. I got tier down to, I am not kidding, a sliver of fucking health. I got it down to where there was basically no color left in this motherfucker's health bar. And guess what? He jumps up, he says, boom, and slams it down, fucks me over. And then it took me 2 more days, at least 20 more runs, 2 times that my system just fucking shut down because it crashed, and I don't even know why. And then one time I accidentally pulled the power on it. Oh my fucking god. I finally got it like right before recording this video. I'm not even kidding. I was like working on beating tier while I was going to do my laundry and shit. So, oh my god. I just needed to rant about that for a second, because Jesus fucking Christ, that was pissing me off. We still love God of War Ragnarok. Absolutely beautiful. We love how Mimir talks about his love life. We love it. But I wanted to put out a video real quick. Just, again, no notes. I'm just going to be talking about this broad topic, going off of my thoughts. So if I get shit wrong, if I misspeak on some things, which I probably will, if I rant, I apologize. There's no structure for this video right now. So before I start, I'll have this video. I probably will not have one next week due to me going on spring break. I may have one. If I do, it'll probably be something similar to this style, where I'm just gonna sit here, do a quick video, go off my thoughts, and figure it out through there. But we'll see. It's likely not, but maybe you'll see if I've put one out, who knows. But what are we talking about today? We are talking about how cross-gen releases have essentially ruined the 9th generation of gaming, at least when it comes to the PS5 and the Xbox Series X and S consoles specifically. And contrary to popular belief, aka the comment sections on my PC elitism videos, I love PC gaming, and I do genuinely think PC gaming is the better medium for being able to play games if you're looking at it from being able to play it graphically and performance based the best, unless Monster Hunter Wilds. But I'm not talking about PC right now because that's obviously not really a problem here, or at least not a problem in the context that I'm talking about. So if I see one goddamn comment saying, oh, you know how you could solve this? Just get a PC. And then it doesn't fucking matter. You're not who I'm talking to. Anyways, I don't think this is like hidden under a rock. I don't think this is a secret level or anything. Everybody kind of knows that the PS5 and the Xbox Series X and S especially have not done super well due to the whole, partly and due to a bunch of other stuff, but mostly because of things being able to go back and being made for the last generation as well. A lot of games before 2025, and you can really say 2024, basically every game would release on the PS5 and Series X and Series S. And if they were doing it on that, they were also doing it on the PS4 and Xbox One. They would always do cross-gen release with those consoles. And this is a big thing. I mean, the biggest reason why they did it at the start, at least to my knowledge and how I understand it, is it was COVID time, one, so shit was going on. Two, because of COVID, there was the chip shortage. I believe it was the chip shortage was China. So PS5s were not being able to be made as much. So PS5s were harder to get. Same thing with the Series X. Chips were just not being able to be made. Consoles weren't able to be made. People weren't able to get the consoles. So they said, okay, we obviously need to release it on the PS4 because there's no point in trying to get people to buy a PS5 when we can't even offer PS5s right now. Same thing with Series X. Whenever I say PS5, I'm also meaning Series X and S. It's just easier to say PS5. So if I say it, just know that I'm talking about Xbox as well. But there was the chip shortage, and then COVID really didn't finish up in the terms of gaming until I would say 2022, early 2023, you could say, and that's being generous. Where it was just not easy to get these consoles. Scalpers especially were becoming big in the scene, before Pokemon cards became a thing, or, before adults continuously got into Pokemon cards more than fucking kids do. And I don't mean the good law-abiding citizens of our country. I mean the dirt under my fucking shoes, scammers and scalpers. Get fucked, dickhead. Sorry, that was a rant. But it was hard to get stuff. But then moving into 2023, we're being generous. Moving into 2023, 2024, we are still seeing games that are releasing on the PS4 and the Xbox One over 10 years after their initial release. And that's crazy to think about. Now, this is not anything new, of course. They've done this with a bunch of other console generations. I mean, looking at Nintendo with the Switch, looking early on, Nintendo had a cross-gen release with Breath of the Wild on the Wii U and the Nintendo Switch. Forgive me, I can't remember any others specifically where same day they released it on both consoles or close enough together like that. Nintendo, again, had done it before with Legend of Zelda Twilight Princess on the GameCube and then the Wii. And then, that, like I said, that's just Nintendo. I remember on PlayStation, they did this a lot. There's a bunch of PS3 games that also released on the PS4 at the same time, or 360 and Xbox One. Mostly things like COD games. I'm pretty sure Advanced Warfare and Ghosts. I think those released around the same time on both generations. But where it worked better there and where it's not working here is that they only did that for a little bit, and it wasn't every game. Or at least it didn't feel like every game. And I think even the biggest thing was that people were actually upgrading their consoles. They were upgrading to that PS4. Feel how you feel about the Xbox One. Some people were upgrading to it. And that's something that we're not really seeing now. I'd have to go back and find it. Maybe I'll put it up in a thing here or something in editing. But I remember seeing a tweet about 49% or somewhere in the 40s percent of PlayStation players still play on a PS4. Now, this is not to shame anybody or discriminate or whatever because of people's pricing and like what they're able to buy. Obviously, I'm not trying to do that. But it is still annoying to have to get everything released on the PS4 just because so many people play on it. I feel like some of the reasons why people don't actually upgrade to the PS5, one part is because there's not a huge graphical leap. Like, yeah, if you're close enough to the screen and you're on like a 2K, 4K monitor or TV, you might be able to see the quality change. But if you're stuck on a 1080p monitor or TV, regular LED, even an OLED in some cases, you're not really going to be seeing those graphical like changes. So there's really no point for you to upgrade because it runs fine on your system, and graphically you don't care, or you're not even able to see a lot of the graphical updates. So that I can understand, and that is definitely a good part of why people aren't upgrading. But the other part of why people aren't upgrading is that there's no point in upgrading. All the games are still coming to them. I mean, one big thing with a new console generation coming in is that there's going to be new games just for that generation or for those new consoles that cannot be run on the old ones. Like the jump from PS2 to PS3 is so big where so many games could not be played on the PS2. Say Infamous, say some of the new God of War games like God of War 3 could not be played on there. You could say the PSP versions of them as well. A bunch of other games and stuff. You could say the Gears of War, that's not going to be able to run on the old Xbox, or some of the new Halo games. None of those are going to be able to run on OG Xbox, at least at the quality and amount of content that they have on the Xbox 360. But now with the 9th generation, like I said, there's not a huge jump like that. So not only is there not that huge jump that requires games to really be on the PS5 and Series X, Series S, sorry. Because everything can still play on a PS4 and an Xbox One. Everything can be in the previous generation still and can still run on that. I mean, back in 2022, God of War Ragnarok got a PS4 release. Spider-Man Miles Morales was a cross-gen PS4, PS5 back in 2021 or 2022. Maybe 2020, I'm forgetting. A lot of digital games would get that PS4, PS5 release. A lot of third-party games were getting that PS4, PS5 release. Those cross-gen releases. COD is a big one, 2K. And again, I understand part of it is because so many people are still on that old generation, so they want to make money. You got to go to the old generation. But at the same time, they're now... they're essentially enabling them. I don't mean it to sound like that harsh or anything, but they're enabling them to stay on the console because they are giving them the games and stuff. And they're not essentially forcing them to upgrade. From a consumer standpoint, I'm not saying that's good. I'm not saying that they should force you to upgrade. But at the same time, do you guys remember when Marvel Rivals came out? Like not the beta, the actual physical game when it first released back in what, end of November, December, I think it was. Dude, I remember seeing so much shit. So is this going to be running on a PS4? Who the fuck are you talking to? Who do you think you are? No, obviously fucking not. They're like games nowadays, now that like 2024, now coming into 2025 and 2026 later on, we are going to be seeing more and more games be PS5 exclusive, Xbox Series X, maybe just X. We might not even be seeing on the S, but at least 9th generation specific. We're not talking about PC again. We're not talking about PC, but 9th generation consoles specific. It's not going to be on the Generation 8 consoles. And personally, I would like that. I say this because I would like to justify my purchase, and I think that's why a good amount of people are also saying why they want stuff to be just on the PS5 is because they want to be like, I bought a PS5, I want to justify why I bought this PS5. I can't be like, oh, I bought this PS5, but I can play all the same games you can. It's kind of like the same way where people are like trying to justify between Xbox and PS5 right now, where it's like, you can play the same games on both. Does it really matter which one you get? Not really. And that's kind of what we're at in this situation is that, oh, you have a PS4 and not a PS5? Well, it doesn't really matter. We can both play the same fucking games. Different qualities, different system, like interfaces, sure, but we're still playing the same shit. And I really do hope that changes because, again, I want to justify my purchase, but also because I want gaming to move forward. It is a big thing where, depending on what consoles and where the games are coming to, that's what they're going to have to, make the game for. Now, not every game is like this, but for a good majority of stuff, they normally go with the least performance-wise system. I said that so fucking wrong. They go with the weakest system, and they try to base it around that and build the game around that so it can run on that system. And then they go forward from there. That's why games like anything that releases on the Switch same time, like Persona games, I believe. Don't quote me on that. I think Persona games, they have to be small in size enough to also run on the Switch. Any like kids game, I know they're kids games, but they still have to be good enough to run on the Switch. And that's kind of what we're seeing now. Like if a game wants to release, it has to be good enough on the weakest console. And like I said, I don't think they do this with every game. I think there are some games like, say, God of War Ragnarok, where they build that for the PS5 and then they strip quality out, they downgrade it to run it on the PS4 so people could still use that. I do think there are those instances. But mostly with third party and a good amount of other games, they make it for that weakest hardware. So if they're making everything for the PS4 and the Xbox One, that means we might not even be seeing the full extent of what the graphics could have been for the PS5. We'll be running PS4 level graphics on a PS5 when they could have absolutely built it towards the PS5 and giving us PS5 graphics. Now, is this like a call to say, hey, you need to go get yourself a PS5 or a Series X or whatever? Yes. Okay, not actually. But it's just something to think about and why this generation has really failed so hard, because there are those different parts that I wouldn't say contradict each other, but they work against each other in a way, which I guess is contradiction. Fuck off, I don't care. Some of them work together, some of them work against each other, and it fucks everything up because there's good arguments from both sides. You have, I can stay on the old console. I'm still playing all the same games. I don't care about graphics. My performance is still good. Why the fuck would I upgrade? And then you have, well, I want all my games to be able to run better. I want the market to move forward, and I want everybody to be able to play the games in better states. So it's weird. I hope with the 10th generation that comes in the next 2 years. I know Xbox is hoping to put something out by 2026 from what we've heard. PlayStation will probably be 2027 if that's how it's working. I hope with the next generation we can get something more out of this. I would like to be able to get the gaming industry moving forward a little bit more. If we can have a greater jump in graphics or performance I think is the better one here. I think we need games to be able to run better off rip. I mean, this is like a whole nother video and a whole nother rant, but games obviously not releasing in working condition right off the bat anymore. Games can't do that anymore, pretty much. It seems like, at least in the AAA scene, every game has to come with a day one patch or you will be finding bugs, you will be finding glitches, shit will not work. So hopefully something can just be better with that, where optimization is going to be easier, and that's maybe where they focus on for the next generation, is optimization and performance, because graphics are already insanely good. I genuinely do not think we need a graphical update unless they are going to make the graphics look in almost one-to-one perfect realistic. They don't need to work on graphics anymore. Graphics are amazing for how they are for realistic stuff. And even with art styles look amazing in a lot of games right now. So that we don't need to worry about. Performance and optimization, that's where they need to focus on for the next generation, in my opinion. And then obviously games and shit. I would prefer exclusives to consoles, but again, that's another video, and one I've kind of talked about already. So thank you guys for being here. What do you think about this? Put it in the comments, start a debate, start discussions. I'd love to hear about your guys' thoughts on this, because like I said, I like the idea, or I want the idea of everybody upgrading so we can push the market forward. But I can also completely understand why somebody would want to stay behind on the PS4, Xbox One, and not need to upgrade, in their opinion. So talk about it in the comments. Thank you guys so much for watching. Hopefully, I can have another video out for spring break so that I don't have to leave you guys in the dust for a week. Because honestly, I was about to leave this one in the dust, but this is only like 25 minutes of raw recording, so this will be a nice, easy edit. All right, guys, have a good one. Please check me out on Twitch. Check me out on my VOD channel. Please like, subscribe, whatever. Have a good day, guys. Peace out. I'll talk to you later. Oh yeah, I should probably... That was bad.
Getting tough from hoes right on my side, and I'm getting all the bottoms. Love to see them while they ride. Got me supercharged, sparking up like got me full of venom. Then I spark it up, the smoke just make them pull off all they denim. Show the money spread, make it go and drop a good persona. Put the gun up to her head, that bitch ain't got no persona. Then we blasting off, rocking off to the skies like Jay. Get the RP.